This is the 1896 Ford Quadricycle, Ford's very first car ever. He built it actually when he was still working for Thomas Edison, and he got the plans for the engine from a magazine. In fact, the article that was written that described this engine was written by a guy named Pennington, who is kind of known as one of the first real frauds in motoring history. So it's really kind of amazing that it even works at all. It is water cooled, and it's using a thermosiphon from the water jacket and the cylinders to a tank under the seat. So in a way, it also has the first heated seats / ass cooker system, depending on how long you're actually driving it. Based on how long it took it to get running today, and the fact that just the difference in coming from inside the garage to outside the garage, that change in humidity completely messed it up. I'd probably describe it as saying it's like buying a nice narcoleptic horse. Maybe you'll get going, maybe it'll collapse on the road and you'll be stuck. Driving impressions of this thing, it vibrates like crazy. Every little bit's moving. It feels like it's just gonna blow up. The reason I'm wearing this ridiculous jacket is because it uses a total loss oil system, which means it just throws oil up your back as you drive. It's sort of like a spa treatment kind of thing. There's a belt that operates both the brake and the transmission. You steer with this tiller, and then this handle here operates both the brake and the gearbox. So you set the throttle once, and then you have to kind of pull it back until you feel it engage, and then just kind of feather it as it wants to die ever so slightly every time you go anywhere. And if you actually try to make a right turn, you basically just pinch your hand. If somebody's talking loudly at you, the force of the sound waves are probably enough to keep it from making any forward progress. Any hill slightly larger than what a drunk kitten could go up, I don't think it can really manage. But everything about it feels kind of terrifying. It's a good example of how pretty much everything in the pre-1900s motoring was a terrifying hunk of crap. But we had to go through it to get where we are today. Also, this is from the era of Ford's most virulent anti-Semitism, so it is the only car I'm aware of that actually has under the seat a foreskin detecting unit, and if you don't have a foreskin, the car won't operate at all. So I'm wearing a prosthetic one for today's demonstration.